Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of the weekly market breakdowns. My name is Viren, and this is going to be an insight into how I analyze charts. I essentially do this to see how my investments are doing. I don't leverage trade crypto. I don't day trade crypto. This is purely to see how the cryptocurrency market is, how I see it panning out in the next coming days, weeks, months, and so on. So these weekly market breakdowns hopefully should give you guys an insight if you're trading crypto, or just to see how your investments might fare out going forward. This is not financial advice. This is purely how I look at the markets. This is not advice for anyone, so please don't kind of try to trade these things. But if it does help you, then that's entirely up to you guys. But yeah, don't just trade off the back end of these. Do your own analysis, do your own research, and that's the way to do it. Especially in these markets, there's so much let's say hype in these charts, especially on Twitter. But look, I'm trying to keep this as transparent. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. This is just purely if it aids you, is perfect. I just want to create these videos to try and from creating these videos I can understand it myself even more, and maybe open up a discussion within the comments of where you guys think the price action might go, or what your insights are into the cryptocurrency market. So to start, what I like to do is I like to look at the total crypto market cap. So this basically tells us how much money is essentially in crypto as a whole. So throughout all the cryptocurrencies, however many there are, the thousands of cryptos, we have $1 trillion in cryptocurrency at the moment that's being traded. So what I can do from here is to see this. Basically, the total market cap is a gauge for me to see if money is coming in. If money is coming into crypto, then that's brilliant. That means that our cryptos, or the cryptos we hold, we should see some positive price action on those cryptos. If the money is coming out of, if this chart was going down, then we would think, okay, actually it's not a good cycle. We could then start looking for buys. Remember, we make money when you buy, not when you sell. So you have to ensure you're getting the best buy areas. You're looking at the areas where to buy, where to bounce back. So for example, if someone was looking at this chart and they were seeing that this was an area to start buying their favorite cryptos at around $760 billion, they would have looked at this chart, and then one would have gone to their cryptos, looked at their support and resistance levels on there, and started averaging their buys, or however they execute their buys, or whatever strategy they have. So from here, what I am going to do is I'm going to mark out your basic support and resistance zones. So a good way to mark it out is looking for the higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows. But I'll probably do a video in the a future video on these basic kind of practices, or how I analyze charts. So let's mark out this zone, because I like this zone here. We've got a big rejection of this area, so I'm going to mark out a square up to there. That's essentially a support level. Let's just bring that a little bit higher. I'm going to take the magnet tool off because it's slowing me down. Okay, so that's a zone we're going to mark out. We could probably take it to the top of that wick there. So we'll bring it down a touch. That's one zone there. Now, what we do want to look at, this is the monthly chart. So actually, before we kind of go into it a bit more further, I like to do the top-down analysis. So basically, starting with the highest time frame, which is for me the monthly time frame. With cryptocurrency, it's so volatile. I find that with the lower time frames, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of wicks. As we go through the charts, you'll see what I mean. But the monthly time frames, the weekly time frames, the 3 daily, the daily, We might go down to the 4 hours, but you'll mostly with the weekly market breakdown, these episodes of the weekly market breakdowns, you'll probably see me going to the 8, and we'll go through the month to the 8 hours and in between, just so we kind of create a clearer idea. When we start going down the time frames, we start getting a more, there's more data there, so there's more kind of things we could see. So let's start with our monthly levels. We can say this zone is area of interest because we've had that rejection there, and we've now using it as support, one support there, and then this level here. So there is something going on between these regions where investors are looking, where money is coming into the market. So now let's switch down to the weekly time frame, and again you see what I mean about using this area as support again and again and again. Now I can see in the past there was a trend that was, so we're now going to start doing our trend lines. So we're going to place our trend line from there to there. So what's happened is, now you might be thinking, why hasn't he done a trend line from there to there? Well, this was a previous trend line, and we can see price broke through there, broke through this piece of trend, this trend line here. That would be a bullish indicator for us. But if we go in further, we can see there is a weekly zone. Firstly, let's mark out this area of interest because I like this bit at the moment. Let's go to there. So this area, actually, we can bring that down, I think, up to these wicks there. So it's a bit of resistance there. We've broken out, we've come down, we tested that support, it's failed that support, we've broken through, we've tried to go above, unable to, and we've come down to this region, which has also been a key zone as well. So we'll mark that out just in case. So we have, so look, this is we're trying to look for the trends and the support and resistance. We came down to here, we came up to our trend line, we've come down to there, we've used this as support again, we've come to the trend line, we've broken through this zone, come to this area which is a monthly zone. We'll get into this a bit further, a bit more, sorry. The higher time frame levels are respected more so than your lower time frame levels, and as we go through these weekly market breakdowns, you'll start getting a clearer idea of what I mean by that. They're a lot more stronger, the higher time frame zones. So we've come to this level, let's come back to this monthly zone, we've broken through the weekly, broken through the trend line on the weekly, and we've come up to here now. Yeah, so that's what price is doing at the moment, and as you can see, this respects these levels at the moment, that the ones that we've marked out. Let's just take that away for the moment, and let's try and see what else we can identify on this chart. So we're on the weekly. What I might do actually as well, we will let's label these. So I'm just going to double click on that, change the text to monthly. Oh, that's wrong, don't know what happened there. So double click on this box, we want to put text and we want to put it monthly. Forgotten how to spell. There we go, and we'll change that to white so you can see it better, and we're going to want that inside on the right hand side so we can see it there. Perfect. Okay, so then we want to mark this one out as weeklies. Change that to white and stick it on the right. We'll stick it on the top, that's fine, so just so you can see it. And we'll do the same here as well. Okay, so we have our monthly zones, we have our weekly zones. Now what I want to do is see if there's anything else I can see on this chart that stands out to me. And at the moment, I would say nothing is okay. So let's look at these areas. So now, if what price has done here is it's come down to test the monthly zone. Let's stick back to the monthly. See if there's okay. Perfect. Ooh. Okay, so what price has done here is it's come down to the monthly zone, used it as support, broken through 2 weekly zones, and you'll see those clearly on the weekly time frame. Because we're in the monthly time frame, it's probably not as clear. I'm just going to move that across so we can see this candlestick. Okay, so now this area is an area of interest to me. So we're on the monthly time frame at the moment. We're going to take that, copy and paste it, and I'm going to stick that up there, but I'm going to make it smaller because I don't think it needs to be that big. This area is a lot more smaller, this zone, let's say. So that's perfect actually. Look, so we've come up here before in the past. It was rejected, but we've broke through it. We've come down in support 1, 2, 3 times here. That's 3 months. These candles, because we're on the monthly time frame, each candle represents a month worth of price action. We've come back down. We've used it as support in that month. So if we break, when we drop down to the weekly, just remember the 1st of May. So in May, let's see what happens here in May. It's a good level of support, but then unfortunately we've broken down and we've come to the next monthly zone. We've come up, unable to break through it. We've come down again to test the monthly zone again, and now we're on our way back up. Are we going to be able to breach it? Now that's the case we need to have a look at. Is there going to be further more positive action on the total market cap for crypto? Is there going to be more money coming in? Sorry, I've lost the legend. Where is it gone? There it is. Okay, so now you can see the figures again. So this zone is the $1.16 trillion region, and here is this is a big zone here, but we'll just keep that as it is for the moment. Okay, now let's break down into the weekly again. And what did we say? 1st of May. Here we go. So May, it came down. Look at the support, unable to maintain that, and we've come down. We could probably just to clip up, bring it up to that wick there. There you go. Now you're in that zone. I might try and make this level a bit smaller because it is quite big. So we can refine these zones as you go down the time frames. Just to so let's bring it to there. So we're not. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Now we have our weekly support. So that's price has come up. It's come down to retest that zone, and this so far on this week. So this is a Sunday. Today's Sunday, Sunday the 5th of February. So this weekly candle is going to close. This seems like a decent close to me, but it's we're going to have to see how the next couple of weeks go. I do use a couple of other indicators as a confluence. So a confluence, we build up our confluences. So to build our case of whether we're bullish or bearish, you should kind of have a checklist. And again, I will go more into this as these weekly market breakdowns progress, so we can cover how exactly I do it. But right now we're just this episode just to kind of get us into how I look at the charts. We'll take it slowly, so just bear with me, guys. So yeah, we've come down as the weekly support, and now I want to see, is that going to start pushing up again, or is it going to push down again? Because this has broken through resistance and is now testing it as support, we would think that we're going to start moving further up. So that means there's more money coming into crypto, and the zone we would be looking for is the next resistance, which is the monthly zone here. Okay, now let's go down to the daily. I'm not going to use the 3 daily on the market cap, because I don't think I need to go down to the 3 daily on the market cap. As you play with the charts, you'll kind of get a feel for what you kind of want to see or want to the data you want to look at. But for the total market cap, I don't think it's relevant to look at the 3 daily for myself. Other people might. So the possibilities here, we haven't fully come down to Tesla, but there is a trend coming here, and what we'll do is we'll mark that trend out this way. So in Forex, when you do a trend line, you normally do it from the tip of the wick. So what I mean by that is do it from, let's say, from that point and there. So you don't cut any of the wicks out. The wicks touch it. With crypto, because it's so volatile, I don't think there is kind of like, it just whatever fits really. So you don't have to, I think, be kind of flexible with it. So don't worry too much about doing the wick to the don't worry about cutting bodies of candles or the wicks off. I found that you're more likely to get it to, I mean, that just fits perfectly right there. So we've that broken through support, volatility, but this, that's perfect, I think, for me anyway. And we have another region here that we're looking at. Okay, so what we'll probably see is some sort of compression in price here. What price action can kind of do as well, it will show its hand. So wait for it to show its hand. So we know that if we go above here and close convincingly above here, we could probably be looking at more bullish price action towards the 1.125 trillion zone. Or if we break this trend line, we could come back to the the $970 billion zone. And if we break that, then we're coming down to, let's do some lines. I'm gonna do that as change that color because we're on the daily. You don't want messy charts, but just for the sake of this video, I'm just laying it out like this, but then I will clean these up. Okay, so let's do that as blue. Okay, so for me right now, I will be looking to see if price action can sustain this level and break higher. If it breaks above this square, this zone here, that would indicate to me that there is a possibility of it going further higher. Sometimes you'll have a fake out where the market will, remember, investors we're all looking at the same thing. Everyone that's looking at charts are looking at the same thing. So there might be little tricks, especially in cryptocurrency because it's unregulated market. We could see price action move up, and move up, break, close above, but then just wipe us out and come all the way back down again. But I think I'm quite bullish with the way the price action is moving at the moment. I would obviously want to see a break of this 1 trillion zone and coming up to this 1.125 trillion dollar region. But look, let's look at the cryptos as well and see what they're saying. So the main crypto to look at, of course, is Bitcoin. Most cryptos, well, pretty much every single crypto follows the Bitcoin price action. If Bitcoin is not doing well, overall cryptocurrencies are not going to be doing well. If Bitcoin is doing well, then we kind of know that there's going to be a lot of money coming in to crypto. Everyone knows Bitcoin. Everyone, even people that don't know about cryptocurrencies, have heard of Bitcoin. They probably haven't heard of your altcoins. But Bitcoin is the one that we should look at when we want to kind of gauge where the market's going to go. So let's look at our Bitcoin chart now, and we'll go back to the monthly and let's see what's going on. So Bitcoin's on the monthly time frame is That's quite a bullish chart. But when we start breaking it down and we go to the lower time frames, if you start going to your daily time frames, we're looking at trends, we're looking at market trends. So now the best way to understand market trends, I'm going to take the price action just so I can demonstrate something. When we're looking for a bullish trend, we're looking for higher highs and higher lows. So price comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down, comes up, and comes down, and you get the picture. So this is a bullish trend, obviously, because the price is going up. But what we call a bullish trend and what we look for is higher highs and higher lows. So let's put the text box here. So this is a higher high. Oop. Okay. So this is a higher high. And then we have a higher low. So we'll put that there. Oh, and so on and so forth. So let's just copy that out and I'll put these here just so you can see what I mean. And so there, and there you go. So higher high, higher low. So this is a bullish market cycle. So there's an uptrend. It's an uptrend. This is what we're looking for, an uptrend. Now if we're looking for downtrends, it's the opposite of that. So we would be going like, I'm just going to do it here. And like that. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of these text boxes. This is not a higher high, guys, but this is a lower high. And if that's a lower high, then this is a lower low. This is now a downtrend. Lower low. Oop. So I'll just copy that, paste there. There you go. So lower high, lower high. Downtrend. Now if you want to copy that, let me just make that, label it. Always label your graphs as I was taught in high school. So uptrend, I'll make that imposing, bold, and change it to red. And we have a downtrend. There you go. So that's what we're going to be looking for when we try to determine our trends. Let's just delete all of this now. Let's go to our object tree. Can't even find it now. So we're going to take all of this away. Let's just delete that actually. There you go. Okay, now bring our price action back of Bitcoin. So on the monthly time frame, like we were talking about the trends, this is it's an uptrend, regardless of if it's been since 2011 and we are currently in 2023. Over the years, the Bitcoin has been in an uptrend. So we've got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Didn't make a higher high there, so we say that's a range. Then we had our new high high, high low, high high, and now we're here. So what's happened? When we break a higher low, that essentially means to us we're in a so let's go down to the weekly actually before we explain this, because yeah, it'd be better to say it from there. Okay, so when we break a higher low. The market is essentially indicating to us that it's changing. So when I mean it's changing instead of an uptrend now, we're likely to be in a downtrend. So what happens is, let's mark out this zone here. So let's say this was the area here. So market's come up, made a higher high, it's come down to make a higher low, it's come up here, made a new higher high, albeit not a big one, and then we've come crashing down. So if now, this is just hypothetically speaking, if now, I'm going to take the price action away, if now price goes there, actually wrong arrow, although I do like the yellow, so I might put this to yellow now. If the market goes up to there, then we're looking in a downtrend on the more lower time frame. Again, like I said, over the period of what was it, 2011, whenever Bitcoin, this chart goes back up to now, yes, the market shows as an uptrend, but most recently now, when we look at micro trends, not micro trends, but the more recent trends, we're seeing that it's a different trend. You'll have to base your analysis on looking for these trends, and like I said, we if you're investing for the long term, then you would look at that chart and say, you know what, it's not a bad place to be, but to get the most optimum buy zones, you want to come down in the lower time frame. So now if the price action, let's get back to this, sorry, I went off on a tangent there, we could see if it does that, we would be looking at now a new trend in the market on the weekly, indicating downtrend. So just keep that in mind. So that's a zone that we are looking at. Let's bring the price action back into the mix, and let's mark out our zone. So let's do the Bitcoin chart a bit more. We want clean charts, so let's mark out a zone here. We're going to make that our resistance support. That was a previous resistance. We've broken through it and we've come down. We tested as support. We've come up to this zone here. I'm going to change that color. Let's change it to yellow. Okay, so we've got that zone marked. Now we can mark so that, I like that wick there, and you can see price action. Don't want to do that. I want to press shift, bring that across. So we are there. And there we have our weekly zones that we've marked out there. Now if we were back on the monthly, what zone would it be on the monthlies? We could take that down actually. Let's move that down to there. And we will go back to the weekly and we'll do this zone instead. There you go. Okay. So I want to just mark that out a bit better. Sometimes these zones are a little bit bigger, actually, instead of these lines. Okay. Okay, so what is Bitcoin doing? So are we in a downtrend? Are we gonna break this zone? This is the big key area now we need to look for. If we break the 25, and it's a key level, $25,000, a psychological level, are we able to break through that? I would want to see in the coming days or weeks. So price action's gone there, it's come down, it's come up again, come down again, gone there, and we've come up. I would want to see us let me just close that there. I would want to see us break through this. Oh, it probably won't go that high. That was a bit optimistic. We'll probably go to around there. So I've based that off because of these, where these wicks are here. So that's what I would be looking at in the coming days and weeks for Bitcoin. Let's go down to the daily, and what do we see on the daily, where the price currently is right now. Be using this level of support, and take that away because the chart is getting messy. So we can support there, there's resistance there, so let's draw a key zone for us there. That's perfect. What I also like to use, and I think I might do this midweek or on the next weekly video, is I'll show you my indicators which I do like to use on some charts, is the Ichimoku. This again, it's an indicator can be lagging. So look, a lot of people love indicators. I myself, I don't base my entire thesis off on indicators. It's just pure price action, but I do like to see it does give me another confluence. I wouldn't say a massively strong confluence, but it does help me. And look, just guys, whatever works for you, that's what it's about. So as long as it makes sense to you, then that's fine. This makes sense to me. So the reason I like the Ichimoku is it does also happen to be good areas for to show support and resistance, or where we might break through or break down. Look, so we have the Ichimoku cloud, which is this green shaded area, and the red shaded area, that's the cloud. When it's green, we're bullish. When it's red, you should be bearish. Also, you have the Kijun, which is the blue line, is the moving average type, and the Tenkan, which is the red line. So when they cross, again, I use these on the higher time frames to show me, you know, where we're kind of going towards. When it crosses, when the Kijun crosses the Tenkan, then we're looking at downtrends, and when it crosses to the upside, we're looking at uptrends. It's not an exact science, guys. For example, here you would have been, if you thought here, oh yeah, it's going to be in a downtrend now, and you started selling, you probably would have maybe missed out $63,000, and then you might have jumped back in thinking, oh yeah, we're up. But what happens here? Drops again, and we fall absolutely away, and you know, you guys all know what happens here. So to summarize, based off the total market cap of crypto, we're looking to see how the week goes. Is, if that makes sense, what we're looking to see is, I want to see how, if we are able to break this zone on the total market cap, and on the Bitcoin chart we're using this level of support. I don't want to see us drop through here. Now interestingly, like I said about the crossover of the Kijun and the Tenkan, we're seeing a crossover happen here where the Kijun is crossing the Tenkan to the upside, meaning that there might be a further uptrend. But like I said, here it's not an exact science. Where it crosses to the downside, we then in the next coming weeks had a reversal. We didn't continue going down, which is what you would have expected when you saw this crossover. So like I said, it's not an exact science, but we use other factors in the market to identify our bias. So with Bitcoin at the moment, we've broken through this zone here of the $22,500 mark. We're using it as support on this weekly time frame. We'll drop down to the daily, and it's a good level of support for the moment. What we want to see in the coming days, I would want to see this go up to the 25 zone, breakthrough. If we fail to break through the 25,000 mark, we're most likely to be coming down again now. On the daily, what areas would we be looking for as support and hopefully be able to hold us and maintain us? Price action does like the Kijun and Tenkens. It sticks fairly close to it, so sometimes you will see it use it as a resistance level or a support level. At the moment, the Tenken is sitting down here at $20,500. So I'm going to mark that out anyway as an area of interest, and it also lines up with these wicks here. We've had previous resistance and support in this zone, so that's areas that I'm going to be watching for going forward in the week. I think at the moment it's quite exciting. There's not enough volatility in the market at the moment anyway, so we want to see the market show its hand. So it hasn't, I don't think okay, with Bitcoin we've had this really good price action. We've broken, if we're talking about the trends we were talking earlier, you know, on the daily this is an uptrend on the daily. On the weekly, has it made a higher high or higher low? Let's go back and check. So we've gone down here, this is a lower high, this is, oh, that's nothing there, that's a lower low, that's a lower high, that's a lower low, and we've broken past that previous lower high. So look, we could even come, if it could be a possibility that we come to the $21,000 region before we move up, because that's how these kind of trends sometimes work as well. So we could see price come down to here. I'm just going to go back to the daily and see what level that is there. So let's take this away, because the chart is getting a bit messy, and I want to try not to do that in the future videos. I have my own chart. So look guys, I have my own chart that I use. This is just a chart I thought, let me start off blank and try to do a walkthrough of how I analyze my charts. But I do have separate charts that I've already got all my zones and everything marked out, and they're a lot more neater. So what I'll do next week is I might show you guys that, and I'll explain it through this. But this was just kind of my first video, so I thought let me try do it this way. And you know, if it helps you, perfect. If it doesn't, leave a comment, let me know how it could help you, what you'd like to see, and we can try accommodate. But anyway, coming back to this guys, I'd want to see if we let's say if we come up to there, and then instead of breaking through the 25,000, but then we come down to the 21,500, and then we come back up again. But at the moment there's not much in it. We need to see more. It's been ranging. It's been ranging in the past couple of days. I wouldn't say obviously in the past couple of weeks, but there's not enough there for me yet to kind of say it's indecisively change my bias to bullish or bearish. I would want to see more kind of action. But yeah guys, I hope this has helped you a little bit. Like I said, as I do these will get more in depth, but please leave a like, subscribe if you like what you're seeing so far, and look forward to doing the next weekly breakdown. I might do a midweek video on another chart or crypto, but yeah, I hope this has helped you guys. Take care now.